You're already recording.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are, because it says the red button. When I came in, it said recording.
Yeah, so good morning everyone. It's Feature Friday and yes, we are discussing the recording. So if someone comes in with one of the AI assist recording devices and I say it's okay to record, then it will alert everybody in here that we're recording, even though it isn't necessarily mine. That's how that works. And normally I will say no if it's something that we're not recording for the whole group, if that makes sense. But today we're recording because it's Feature Friday. So I'm very excited. We're going to start with looking at some of the things that have changed within Pagewheel, which was rolled out this week. So amazing, amazing stuff. Let us go to my screen. Very exciting. All right. So once you, let me let people in. All right. I just want to make sure I keep up with the waiting room because I'm really bad at that. Like multitasking is not my strength. All right. So I think I am, let's see, make sure I am in here. If you go to the product builder, this is where you'll see the version 1.0 to version 2.0 right here. This button will be here for a while longer. We want to make sure everybody's comfortable in version 2.0 before we switch your ability to go back to 1.0. And that's just one of those things too, like if you're in 2.0 and you're a little frustrated or you're trying to do something really quick, you can totally switch back to 1.0 right now, and you can go do your thing and come back out. So that's just there, and it will be going away in the future once everybody's kind of shifted into the new order of things. So let's just start with going through just some basics. So I'm going to start with, because this is my favorite new thing, is to start with an upload your own PDF. So I'm just going to go in and find something that is, you need a PDF file. So I'm just going to find one here. This is my problem is I have so many things here. Here's some flower coloring pages. And I have you guys on top of my buttons here. All right, so one of the things you might notice is it's going to pull in the file name and so the product name from your file. So you can, if you're like, hey, that's cool, because it's just a little secret, it's going to be using those words down the road for to pre-populate the kind of the AI assist. So if that really wasn't a flower coloring page for spring, or I had named the file, file 132, then you might want to go in and change that right there. And then you're going to want to say that you have all the permissions, and then it's imported. Now at this point, we can add a Pagewheel page. We can add more PDFs. And then I want to make or if you want to go straight to the website, you're like really quick and dirty, like let's just go straight to promoting that right now. So I think let's add a Pagewheel pages to my product. So this first step is branding. Okay, so we've kind of flipped you on your heads a little bit here. Is we used to start with branding, but then you make your product and then the cover. Now you're doing the branding, the cover, and then the product. And we just thought that would be easier in the end to kind of give you a way to do that. So I'm going to choose my colors. This palette, it was made especially for me. I don't know if you know that. It has all the pretty colors, which would be great for my spring coloring page too. So let's go, looks good next. And then here's where we come to the title. So because I uploaded a PDF, it's going to default as a no cover. But you can easily change that. I'm like, no, I want a cover for that because I'm going to do some more stuff. And then I'm thinking, I just want this coloring page to be part of a bigger thing. So instead of saying this is a coloring page for spring, let's change this and say, let's do spring activities for kids at home. And then what I'm gonna do is you could run this and get new ideas and say, oh, that's a more fun one, like arts and craft organizer, nature exploration handbook, DIY projects, fun spring activities guide. Let's do that one. All right. And then I'm gonna, then you see how it like auto populates a subtitle based on that. And then if I wanted one more, because I'm not gonna really emphasize outdoor activities. So I'm gonna go in and see outdoor activities to enjoy. Oh, this one, we need to, the outdoor activities to enjoy a warm spring, DIY crafts to brighten up your home. Oh, that sounds fun. Let's do that one. And looks good next. So I have, then it's going to auto populate into the covers, and I'm just going to go through and find one that makes sense with the spring. That looks good. And then the product mock-up right now, we are working on it that you would be able to have the title page on the product mock-up as well. It just, that update hasn't happened yet. So let's go look good next. So here's the page. And by the way, if you upload PDF pages, those are going to, you cannot edit them. They are as they are when you upload them, but you'll be able to rearrange them and put them in different orders and that kind of stuff, or delete them or duplicate them, that kind of stuff. So when we go into add a page, add a batch, or, oh, yay, my third button's there. If you were on Wednesday when Rachel and I were talking about it in real time in front of you guys, I was like, I think we need a button there. So now the three choices, the individual pages, the batch pages, or the PDF, you can just choose any of those at this point at any time. So let's go ahead and add a batch, and I'm going to look for kids activities. And then you can see, you can also, if you can choose to upload your own PDF here too, if you get in the middle of something and you're like, I don't see what I want, that gives you that chance. So let's do the 30 days of sensory play, because I feel like I could put that into some spring activities. Let's do the family chore plan. Let's do movement bingo. So I'm going to choose those three and then go to looks good next. And so all of these pages are going to come along on this left-hand side. I prefer to look at them as we go here, and it looks like it only uploaded one of those. So let me take a screenshot of that. All right. So, and then at this point we could be like, I'm like, I want the coloring page like as the third page. And do notice that it will switch this out. This is something they're working on. It will switch it out to be the different colors, but your pages are going to look right when you go back in here. So we see that we now have that coloring page as the third page. So now we could go in here, and if I wanted to edit something, so like bingo, let's just put for silly fun.
Holly, can I go back for just a second? On that screen where she moved a page and then they all turned to look like the same page. If you close that out and go back, it will refresh and you'll see your pages again. Because I had like 12 and I was trying to move them around.
Yeah.
Keep going back.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. That if you were trying to move them, they'd be like, it's like blind movement. So yeah, thanks for mentioning that, because I know it's something that they're working on. They just haven't gotten to it yet. So if we want to change the color on this, I'm going to bold it, and then I could change it to like different colors. I could go in and, obviously edit any of this stuff that I want. And I'm like, oh, that looks good. Let's go to the next page. It looks, I don't know why this one is weird. Let me just grab this, this screenshot. All right. And then same thing with that. We can keep going. Here is 1 hour, plan your play. And so plan an hour of, I don't like the word structured, let's say of playful activities. And so we'll leave that in there. And okay, we got everything here. If I wanted to go ahead and I might add a few more coloring pages. Could go back to add a PDF right there. So let's go ahead and publish. And so here's what I have. And it's funny because it's not showing the coloring page here. I'll take a screenshot of that. And let's publish and publish. Do 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 do. I'm pulling up the chat here while we're doing. All right. So now we have, so this is going to pull in your, whatever you named it, is going to pull that in automatically. If you get in here and you're like, oh, I'm also going to have a video series or something like that, you might want to change that a little bit and then rerun it. And then anytime you want to edit any part of this, you basically click on the area and this bar will show up. And so that you're able to change, the colors, change anything you want to. Same thing when you're down here. And all this looks really good. Okay, this is still showing $7.99. So you can set your price up here. And then all of this will come up. That looks really good. So that does show my coloring pages there, which is great. Let's see if we can add some color to that. And then here's where let's upload my picture. Here again, I have so many tabs open here. Where's my picture? I think I had it under busy instead of Pagewheel. My computer is totally locked up.
So many things. I think that's the theme of the day. I had to reset everything just to get Zoom to work for this meeting. It was
Which
terrible.
is so crazy. Yeah, it's my computer. It's not even usually it would say it's Pagewheel, but it's not. I haven't even selected anything. Oh my gosh. Let me stop share and see if that will. Oh, that helped. Okay. Let me upload that photo and then I'll come back and share.
While you're doing that, there's been some action going on in chat, just so everyone can see the questions. Kim, I'm still looking at your page. And I'm going to try a new one just because, the developers are still updating stuff. So I don't know if it'll retroactively fix that or not. Yeah. And we have, if you add a PDF, then decide you don't want it, can you delete it? Yes, you can. Yep. At that point, once it's up there, you'd have to do it page by page, but you can delete it. Can you add
And just to add to that, Janine, so think about your PDF. Once you upload it, it becomes a page just like a series of pages like any other, because you'll be able to rearrange them, delete them, duplicate them, that kind of stuff.
Yep. Another question was, can you add an image to a cover? And I said, not yet, but you can select the no cover option and upload a cover that you've made in Canva or something and make it the first page and still get there right now. So that's a workaround for it.
Yeah.
Hey, Janine.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm in the car, so I'm not going to talk after this. When I was doing a landing page for not a landing page, when I was doing a sales page for somebody the other day, we weren't able to change the price throughout the page. Is that fixed?
I just came across that right now. I just took a screenshot of, So we're noticing it on that button. It seems like it's pretty consistent except for one button on the page, which doesn't help you because you can't launch a sales page that has a wrong button on it. So, but that'll be a SOS today. We'll have that done by the end of the day. All right, I am sharing my screen again. So I was able to upload my photo here. But then do you see this? You could replace image, you can crop image, and you can rotate your image now. What? I know, it's like we're like a real company with real features. So anyway, any of this stuff I could go ahead and edit. It looks really good to me. So let's go on to the next one. Here is your thank you and delivery page. Also, let me show you up here. You can kind of go back and forth between the offer page, which is your sales page or your opt-in page, and your delivery page. So you can find that right here, up here on the left-hand side. So here is the delivery. And let's say we wanted to add something to this. I have not done this yet, so let's do this in real time.
I'm gonna bust in here. Is this where we add the videos?
Yes, except mine is not clicking. Let's see. Janine, do you know where I'm supposed to do that?
I'm sorry for,
Or add the videos, like add the sections?
that was the magical menu on the left.
Yes,
And we
and
got
where-
that from, click on a section.
It is not letting me click. It may be,
And then,
okay, here.
yep, now see that,
Click at the
see that
top.
plus? See the
Aha.
plus? Yeah. It's
So, so basically, because I'm in a certain area, it's gonna push me into certain selections, which is great. So let's go into, like, we could add a video here, and then I would choose one of these video, something went wrong here. Let's go down the page where we would put a video here. All right, so let's add it. Let's do the video. Let's do this one. Yeah, it's not, something's going wrong on this.
that's what we were getting on Wednesday still too.
Okay,
Okay.
I will send that over too. So that basically, so wherever section you are, look at, if you want that left-hand side menu, just add the plus thing, and you can kind of scroll through and see that, like, you can change a lot. In fact, let's go and see if we can do it on the offer page.
I love that.
Yeah, I do too. It's so cool. So let's see if I'm here and I want to add like a different way it's laid out. And I love these down here that add your photo in it and stuff like that. Let's just see what happens. Oh, here it is. So then you don't have to use Rachel's face. You can upload your own face here, which is awesome. But look, I love that layout for, especially for like kind of the big orange circle behind it. So then you could just go in and delete the one that you're not going to use, or hide it. So awesome. All right, let's go into the delivery page, and we'll look and make sure we get those videos, that video function going. Let's go to look good next. Boop, boop, boop. And then this is brand new for those of you who haven't had access to 2.0. This is if you have a tracking pixel that you want to add to your sales page, then you can add that here. We are supporting basically Facebook or Meta and Google pixels here. If you have a different type of pixel, that you want to be embedded, that we are absolutely going to work with you on that. All you need to do is drop into this intercom button, this chat at the bottom there. Just let us know what you need, and we'll be in there to help that. And please do not be shy about that, because if there's a bunch of people who are all using a certain type of pixel, we'll just obviously add that in a way that is easier for you guys to do, so that we don't have to do it by hand each time. It helps us understand
So
how
we don't
you're
have to go
using it.
Google.
Say that again.
So
April?
we don't have to go Google what a pixel is. Can you sort of just 30 seconds? Oh, sorry. Can y'all hear me?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Can you sort of just 30 seconds say what is a pixel and why would we use it for Facebook?
Yeah, so if you're doing any sort of advertising, like paid advertising, then you're going to want to be able to see what actions were taken by what people. So the way that the internet has solved that, so whether it's Google advertising or Facebook advertising, is that they create a tracking code, because they know who that person is when they leave Facebook, and that pixel will pick it up on your site and give feedback to your Facebook advertising account as to, oh, Cynthia clicked around, but didn't convert. And of course they don't use your name, but they're like, you know, this user did this and this user did this, but it gives you the ability to say, oh, you know, 50 people showed up and 5 bought. That's a great conversion rate. Oh, 300 people showed up and nobody bought. Oh, what's going on? Let's take a look at that. Whereas before we're a little in the dark about like what is actually happening on the page. And so basically right here if it was working, you would have the picture that will be populated when you share this to social media. So like it will be your mock-up. And then if you want to change the name of the URL that you're going to send people to, so right now it's basically populating with a version of your title. So like fun spring activity guide, that's too long for me. So I'm going to say fun for kids. And then it's going to add numbers there to make sure that you are unique, but you can get rid of them as long as it's not taking up the same URL as someone else. And here you could change this if you want it to populate differently for social media. And that's what metadata is, like what data is going to be transferred to the next site about this product. So I'm going to say fun activities for spring for the whole family. I don't know why this is not giving you spaces, by the way. And then once I say that, I'm going to say looks good, publish. All right. And then this is going to take you straight into your delivery email. And here again, you could write this with AI Assist again if you wanted to. Make sure this sounds like you. Make sure that like here right now, it pre-populates with your account name. I'm in the hello@busy.ai account. Not very fun. So like I would say Holly. And I always sign everything with hugs. So let's just do that. And then I would just make sure that this makes sense for what I'm doing and that the email headline and the preview text makes sense too. All right, let's publish. And then here's all your links that you can grab. And then I'm saying, I have my links. I'm ready to promote it. And then it's going to basically send you over to your copy packs. But generally it's going to pre-populate this. That didn't do it this time. So spring activity guide for kids. And then let's make a social calendar for that. So it's going to pop you over there right after you make a product so that you can set up your social media calendar, blog post to promote it, anything you want at that time. So it's all there. We're getting so close. All right. Any questions? Or do you want to see anything in particular? I'm going to look at the messages here.
We just got one new one.
Let's see. Oh, thanks, Ange. Did you grab that, Janine? Ange just saying.
Yeah, yep,
Okay,
I've got it.
Oh, okay. That's not helpful. Yeah, and I was noticing that it was only allowing me to add 1 batch, even though it said it was going to allow me to add 3. So we'll get that fixed out too. Let's see. Any other questions that I've missed?
Holly, I have a question.
Sure.
When you were talking about the metadata and the pixels, will Pagewheel be able to help us through the AI with follow up to the abandoned cart kind of issue where somebody went in and then they got distracted and those kinds of things?
Yeah, so that's I know that's one of the email series that they were going to work on. I haven't looked to see, let me just look and see if it's actually in there. I think it would be under emails in the copy packs. Email, let's see. Happy email. Yeah, it looks like they haven't watched that one yet, but we will definitely. Janine, can you make sure that we have that on the list? I know it was on the list.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
So abandoned cart and those type of emails.
Gotcha.
Because
Like
that
if
would
the
be really
pixel
easy to
tracks
do.
that somebody opened something or linked on
Mhm.
something, but then didn't move forward.
Right, right.
That abandoned cart issue where we could say, hey, we saw that you looked at this, but did you want to?
Yeah, and to get to a real granular place within our system, that's not going to be available right now. In general, you're
But
going to
it'll put
know,
it back in front of their face.
yeah, you're going to
Right, okay.
know that, but also it would be real easy for us to make a series of emails for abandoned cart, you know, all those type of things that you get from like if Shopify or something like that, because those are things that oftentimes you have to write anyway for somewhere else. So, but the you will, I mean, you kind of know this because when you go into like opt-ins versus purchases and all that kind of stuff. So in effect, you won't have super granular, but you'll have more global information.
Great, thank you.
Anybody else have any questions?
Hey, Holly, it's April.
Yeah.
There, when inside of my Stripe account, I've noticed, and I don't really know how to handle this so that it doesn't seem CIA and creepy, but you can see, and it shows somebody's email address that clicked all the way through, but then didn't purchase.
Oh, okay.
Do you reach out to those people or do you just leave it alone?
So like, I'm trying to think if there's somebody that is on your email list already or opted in, they've given you permission to reach out to you. Does that make sense? If there's
Yeah.
somebody from outside that you don't know from Adam, you would be reaching out probably against policies in California, Canada, UK.
Okay.
So like, you know, I think that's like, that's a decision within your own business. But I do like, I'm glad to hear that that information is available, because whether you actually act on it, knowing that information can be really helpful to you.
Sure. Yeah. Cause I saw there was only one or two, but it would say like, it would have a record for them in Stripe.
Mm-hmm.
But it would sort of be grayed out a little bit, like it wasn't a full transaction.
Yeah, and you might do a little research because there could be something where like they entered a payment that was like null and void or was not accepted, or is blocked in some way, versus like, I know like I've done this where I like I start in a cart and then I get distracted. And so like,
Right.
so but I don't know how far you have to, like, I would assume if it's in Stripe, you'd have to get to the payment processor part of it. Otherwise,
That's what I was
wouldn't.
thinking.
Yeah.
And there was one that I've done and it was a personal email. Like I wrote the email myself and said, hey, it looks like maybe your payment didn't go through, or if something happened and you got interrupted, I just wanted to reach out and say thanks for taking a look. If there's anything I can do to help you, let me know. You know, and
Yeah.
it even said what product they tried to buy.
Yeah, and April, I really like the way you handled that, because one of all these like global issues across the world are anti-spam. So
Right.
those are things that you probably don't want to like have an auto responder for. But if you sat down
Right.
and wrote a personal email saying, hey, is there anything I can do? Or here's a discount code, you know, or like, you know, here's something else you might like, or, you know, be friendly and helpful versus salesy. I don't know that you would get into trouble in most cases for that.
Okay. Well, I'm not at a scale yet where it's not happening by the hundreds. I can still handle one or two. Yeah.
These are good
not
problems to have.
That's right. That's right.
But the people in Pagewheel that did that, they consented to giving their email, correct, Holly?
Yes. So, well, you could go, you know, there's a way that they can opt in and say, I don't want to be on your list, you know, and that's listed
Some
in
of
your
them did,
list.
some did.
Yeah.
Right.
But if
You can
they're
see
on
whether
your
it's checked or
list,
not.
yeah, if they opted in to your list, then you like, there's like, that is a, hey, I'm fine with you contacting me. So, so you don't have to worry about like step on eggshells around those
Yeah.
people. Mhm.
So
Okay.
Holly, I'm on the About Me page and
Yeah.
I put in an image and the image looks wonky in my screen that I can edit, but it looks fine in the preview. Do you,
We will note that. I'm
Okay.
not surprised. We had some issues where it was opposite. So maybe
Okay.
they fixed. So, but yeah, the preview, the interesting thing about the preview is coded in a different way than the actual product. So that like, it's literally like it's like two different processes, if that makes sense. So sometimes those things are off, but our goal is for you to see it and print it in the exact same way. So it's something that we will work on.
and there's not a way to add like a second image to that page.
There is not right now, but that's something that if you guys want 2 image pages, I think there are some 2 image pages and 3 image pages in those custom pages. So
Oh, okay.
yeah. So remember, like, one of the reasons why we have an About Me page that is a specific About Me page is it with the AI Assist that the AI Assist knows that's an About Me page. So you say, hey, I'm Holly, I'm the mom of 3 boys, and I like to blog, whatever. So the AI Assist is going to write a bio based on that very short sentence, and which will be a lot of fluff, and I'll want to go in and add a few details. But then like when we go into like the photo pages in the custom pages section, those are more coded as information pages. So you could use one of those as an About Me page and just bring it to the front. Just be aware that the AI Assist on the writing is going to be, it's not going to say, oh, this is an About Me page. It's just going to say, here's some information about whatever you put into things. So that's one of the reasons why we separated those things, is because the AI Assist wants to write it in a different way. And that's why, like, if you go to the recipe page and use it as a DIY page, it's going to turn your chair upgrade and painting job into a recipe.
So if you're in there and you want to add a custom page.
So that would be the individual page. Like, let's see, let me go back and give you the exact lingo.
It's just the add a page button.
The add a
versus
so the add a page,
not your PDF and not
yeah. The
Right,
add a
but then like
page,
which one do you select?
so the add a page is those custom pages. So those individual custom pages that you used to add in later, that's an add a page. Add a batch are those original batches, and then the PDF is separate. So if you add a page, you'll get to those selections.
I'm with you. Okay.
Yeah. Correct.
And KJ has the, yep.
Hey, I have a bad habit of selling things before I know what they are. And
that's not a bad habit. That gets you a business.
Well, created a little side gig yesterday and threw it out in a group that I'm part of, and I've sold a bunch of stuff already, and now I have to actually
I love it.
do it. So one of the things I sold was the SEO and strategy copy pack.
Yeah.
But I don't know what any of it means. So I just want to, when I give it to her, I want to be able to explain.
Okay.
When it says search volume 1,000, what does search volume mean?
That's a great question. So the search volume in general is information, and none of it comes directly from Google, by the way. It's all what people guess, like how many times a month that search term is searched. Okay. So really what it allows you to do is kind of compare apples to apples. So if you have one that's like 10,000 searches versus 20 searches, you can see that, oh, this is a more popular search term to that. So, and it's literally global, because the truth is Google does not look at these search terms as individual. So like, let's say you're saying, how to make a koala paper plate craft. Well, maybe the search volume is on that phrase is 100. a month. But then, you know, koala paper crafts would also be, oh, that's probably 500. Oh, paper plate craft, well, that's 100,000. So you could potentially get parts of these other bigger volumes or slight tweak of those volumes, depending on what you're looking at. But it can give you an idea of where to start as far as, oh, I want to name it this, or I want to make sure we include this language because this is the larger search term that really adequately describes it.
Okay. And so those search terms, it talks about just putting it into my articles and stuff. When I create a page, I just make sure I include those things.
Yes.
So in my website builder in Kajabi, on the back end, there's a section that says SEO. Is it good to include it right there? Is that
So
what that's for?
generally, so what that probably means, and I'm not familiar with Kajabi, but WordPress has something similar, and some of these others, well, they'll say SEO title or SEO description. So what that does is you can actually use so let's say you wanted to name, because you know you're writing for humans. So maybe I want to say, you know, a star-spangled flag craft for kids, because I think people will be excited about clicking on that. But the truth is, for Google, I might want to say popsicle stick flag craft, you know, because, you know, to describe it more in, you know, kind of businessy and SEO terms. So you could go in, you could like title it the way you want to, that you think humans might click on it, but then give Google in that SEO title a little bit more information. And then the description, SEO description is like a one sentence. I think it has a character limitation of like a really quick summary of why someone might want to read that. Now, we put this data, and that's called metadata, by the way. It's very similar to what we were talking about earlier with the metadata, is that like my website is communicating that to other algorithms. But the funny thing is that this was originally thought that, oh, it will override anything you put on the page to like be in the Google search results. But Google likes to choose. So it'll be really funny. I'll write something I think Google will love, and it will default to the Star-Spangled Flag craft or something like it. It's super funny, like, because I'll be like, no, Google, I wrote this for you. But Google has a tendency to choose what it wants to, but most of the time it is the SEO data. But if you don't fill in the SEO data, by the way, it will just default to your title and the first sentence.
Okay. Right. Well, that's super helpful. Thank you so much.
Yeah. In fact, let me follow that up with just one more thing. When you write something that you want to be found by an algorithm, that first sentence or two of that blog post or website should be a kind of a, this is what this is and why it's important to you, so that it will save you from having to make those meta descriptions and stuff like that. Or you could make a second one that's a little bit different and see which one Google likes best.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So Kim, so the interesting title and then the SEO title. So I know we were talking the other day with Diane was playing with the viral hooks.
Yeah.
So those viral hooks are like, and I was talking to David from Moolah yesterday, and we were laughing because we were trying to title things between the two of us, and we're like, why don't we have Rachel on this call? Because I'm like the informational, I can give you what the information is, because like that's just how my brain thinks. And Rachel will be like, stars and unicorns, and make it clickable. So this way you can have both sides of that. So that sometimes those viral things are just right out there. But if you can think of, how can I pull some of that in, or how can I make it a little bit more exciting? How can I be a little on the clicky side, and we used to call it clickbait before that was a bad word. But like the truth is, clickbait works. So how can you be like clicky without the bait. And by the way, it's not clickbait if you actually deliver something on the other side. But anyway, so I love the idea of clickbait because you're actually getting them there and then delivering. So you're not being spam. So, but finding that nice, like, you know, in between of getting someone there so that they to what they are looking for.
Yeah, so you make it interesting and curiosity provoking, and they're like, oh, I want to know more about that.
Yes,
And that's
yes,
your hook or but your SEO, like your metadata and all that is, this is a popsicle stick craft. So that when somebody Googles popsicle stick craft,
hmm
it'll come up and it might say the most amazing ever popsicle banner.
exactly. Yeah, and see, that's what you have to remember. Like once they search it,
Yeah.
once you get landed on that page, Google, the front page of Google is clicky. You'd have to then get them to click through to you. So it's actually good to have a little bit of that spiciness in there, especially if you're getting some of that attention from Google.
Yeah. Yeah. I struggle with the feeling like it's over the top.
Yeah.
I'm like,
These days,
okay.
nothing's too OTT.
Hey
It's
guys,
hard
did you
to
happen
distract.
to see, you know, we've been talking about these people that are pushing that $7 course that has a $25 upsell and all the digital marketer, blah, 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 master resale rights. Remember we were talking about those the other day that are just
Yep.
literally everywhere?
Yep.
Well, NBC News last night blew legendary marketer up.
What?
Like blew them up on NBC News. Yes.
Oh my
And
goodness.
Not
he
good.
declined to obviously he declined to be interviewed.
Yeah.
And I mean they just knocked these people to the moon. And I was like, not thank God really, because I don't ever wish. I mean, they're just, a lot of these are just stay-at-home moms just trying to make a side gig, and they don't know any other way to do it because this is all that's in their news feed.
Yeah.
So in their defense, that's all they see, and they think, well, so and so makes $1 million a minute, maybe I can too, you know. And but in reality, it gives those of us who truly have integrity in the process, and we have access to Pagewheel, we have access, a lot of us are in makers and are promoting Rachel's other courses, and you know, then there's the blogging group and things like that, that we really truly have in this community that we've built over the last year, coaches with integrity, and we have good information, and we have solid teaching and coaching that we really can come alongside somebody who just feels lost and feels duped, and show them that there is a good way to grow authentically, like a crock pot that is a great meal at the end of the day that doesn't give you a microwave bag of burnt popcorn.
And I just want to like compound that just a little bit and say if you have something that works and that you're teaching from your heart, it's your duty to drown those people out that aren't doing it. You know what I mean?
Yep. Because
it's partially our fault that so many people have been duped into things that may or may not work. So, so we have to get louder, and that's one of the reasons why we've created this. And we, you know, and we encourage you to just keep at it, because like, I mean, I've been in this space for almost 20 years now, and I can say it's not because I'm smarter or more creative, definitely not a better writer. It's because I'm still here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, last blogger standing. So if you can just keep going at it, just and like every day, just do something that builds your business and attracts a new person, have a new conversation with someone, learn something about your business. And it's crazy to look back and see how fast your business grows that way. So it doesn't feel like it in the middle of it, but
what we can take from that is there's a lot of people out there that want to do something, and
It's a
they're
big
desperate
market.
for it. You know, there's a huge market out there,
It
and
is.
building our audiences is our advantage because we have already built the trust. We've already established ourselves as trustworthy, and so when our people buy from us, they don't think, oh, I'm going to get scammed. That's the last thing.
No, in fact, yeah, they're waiting for you to, just like KJ, they're waiting for you to launch something new. I love it.
I couldn't wait. Hurry up.
I love it. And I have about 5 more minutes. Any other questions or anything else we want to look at? I know there's still a few bugs that people are putting in there. And also all through the day, do not hesitate to drop it into the live chat. This is like that. I was surprised that one of these things that we just found was still there. So it's something that like I just didn't catch it. And yeah.
I would
So
also
just remind us.
say, yeah, go heavy on the F5 button because the developers are loading new things to the servers fast and furiously.
They might have in fact, they might have already changed a few things that we just did. Yeah, the price thing to get fixed, Janine and I will both be in the middle of that team today to make sure that gets fixed. Hopefully
I just
by
tested
noon.
it on mine because mine is one of the ones that's doing that as well, because I just uploaded again this morning to test everything.
Yeah.
But if you change the hero, the price disappears, that $7.99 disappears. So if you don't use the first hero, but you go change the
Oh,
hero
okay.
something else. So
Okay,
I don't
that's
know
good
if
to
the
know.
price changes or anything, because I have my original price that I put in.
Yeah,
So it might just be like stuck in like a photograph almost on that one hero.
right. It's probably well, and it's just a text thing because it's staying at $7.99.
Yeah, it's like not doing anything else.
But that means
Yeah.
we should
And
be
then
able to
there's
go
no
find
way
it.
you can erase it. I've tried. You cannot erase it. You
No.
can't space over it. You can't take it off and put it back on. Go to free, go to price. You can't do anything. I tried it.
Yeah, so we will get that fixed this morning. That's the first order of business today, because I know that's limiting you guys. So
once we say it's fixed, I would still test purchase anything you created before the fix to make sure that it matches. Yeah. Kim, you probably saw me show up on your
I did.
list.
I was like, she was a
Janine,
craft.
testy. Yeah, no, I was testing the price to make sure to see what was happening with it. But
Okay,
yeah.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Now that one worked out because I did up the price after I sent it to my email list first at $5.99, and then I put it out to the public. And I told my email list, you're gonna get it like cheaper. So,
Yeah.
because you're on the list, right? Because I love you guys. And so they did. And then I changed it a couple weeks later and upped the price. So now it's in any further emails and any further and it all seems to be working. That one's fine.
Good.
So
Good.
Good.
And I love
But I'm
that
also a
idea, you
crafter
guys.
and you're
Did you
awesome.
hear Kim's genius idea? Release
How do
it
you do
early.
that, Kim?
do what?
Go for it.
How do you do it? Do you do a different link for your email list and a different link for the public? How do you make the prices different?
No, I did originally I made it the product and then I sent it to my email list first before anybody else gets to see it, right? Because I want them to feel special on my list. I want them to think we see it first, we get the best prices, because my email list to me is the most important thing I can be working on and building that.
Right.
those
So you give them
connections.
a time. You give them a
Yeah,
time
I
frame
just
and
told them,
say
"It's not gonna be like
after.
this, yeah, a week or whatever, then it's gonna go up, right? So you better buy now. So it creates
Okay.
the fear of missing out, right? It was only $1, but still people bought. And then
Okay.
yeah, and then after that, I just went into Pagewheel and changed the price. Now when I send it out, it comes out at the new price. So
Yeah. So
I
I
got
and
love
even if
this
they go to the
sense
old
of
link now,
urgency. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give them
Even if they go
give
to
them
the
a
link.
limited time offer that you
I
actually
did tell
follow
them.
through on. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I said it's gonna be like this for a week, and then in a week, price goes up. And after a week, then I just put it on my page, and now I'll put that thing everywhere, right? But
Yeah.
they got to see it first, and they got an opportunity to buy it first. If they opened my emails, they would have had that opportunity. So now they're like, oh, I should make sure I open my emails.
I love it. And so
Awesome.
the other side of that, though, just FYI, if you wanted to release the same product at 2 different prices, you could just clone the product and then grab you could, the super secret product at the lower price that you might just send an email or through direct messages, you would have a different URL for than the higher price that you could put out on social media or stuff like that. So you really have some flexibility.
That'd be great for
That was the reason. Sorry,
right.
that was the reason why I wanted the coupon, because I do that a lot with I call them my email community. If they're on my community, they get everything special or less money or whatever to stay in my email community, right?
Yeah.
And, that kind of thing. So
that's
same
a work.
thing, Kim.
The coupon is in fact, Rachel and I were after you mentioned it, Cynthia, last time I was talking to Rachel about it as far as adding it in. The coupons with Stripe are a little bit more complicated than you might think. You think, oh my gosh, you could just get a $1 off. So it's going to be a longer process to actually launch that. So just thinking about, cloning it, doing a limited time with a lower price, all those things are workarounds to not having a coupon right now.
Yeah, because if you do
Good idea.
limited,
I hadn't thought of it before. Thank you.
you do a lower price limited time, you can keep using the same product if you have the 10 product limit. I don't have that, so I just like duplicate things and duplicate things.
Yeah.
I don't know how many products I have now.
Kim and I are in a contest of who can make the most products. Because Rachel said it was unlimited with
She did.
quotations.
Trying to test it. We're all about the
Hey,
testing.
did we figure out, I've got, I would dare say over a dozen quote unquote products in my product list that I didn't actually make, and I can't delete them. They won't let me delete. Has that been fixed?
Probably not. But if you want to, have you reported it as a bug?
I can't remember because I was out of town this week, but
Yeah.
I'll record a loom tonight, and if it's still happening, I'll just hit the loom in.
Okay, please do, because I know I see a few things like that I've noticed in my own account, but I never know if it's because I'm in a kind of a higher level
superpower
account. So but yeah, I can recreate that. So if you don't mind sending that bug in, I would appreciate it, because
okay,
it's
I'll
something
see if
that
I
I
can
haven't
get it
even thought
today,
of for a
because
while.
I know that
I have that
I know
too.
that there's not that many that I started and then didn't finish, so it wouldn't be
And
that many.
we want you to be able to delete those, because our starter set has a limitation on that, and it's not so that we trick you into upgrading. That's not our goal here. So we want you to be able to delete and move things around. So we do want to fix that as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I got
bought the business plan year early on.
Yeah. All right. Okay, this is the end of kind of the Pagewheel stuff. I have one more question from Ange that's not Pagewheel related, so you're welcome to stay on. But for those of you hopping off, have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you on Monday.
Holly, quick question. When I'm using AI, I know that there's a, make my content with AI, but is there like a search bar? Like if I said, what's the best way to tell somebody, that I think the sky is blue, or what, is there like a place like, when I'm in that Tony Robbins mastermind, that's where I first saw Rachel. So, I can go into their deal and say, help me with, create a name for my new business. And I'll give it some information, and then I'll get a list.
Right. So that's kind of built into ours so that you don't have to ask. So one of the things about our AI in the copy packs is you're putting in one prompt, but sometimes up to 30 prompts are happening behind the scenes. So, and sometimes one of those prompts is a clarification of that. So like you saw with the titles, give me more titles, it's based on what you started with, but you might go back and change it again and do again and roll that. So hopefully we're trying to make this so simple that you don't have to worry about it as much. Now, we've discussed in the past that sometimes you have to get better language because the AI just doesn't understand it. And you always step back to how would you describe it to a kindergartner or something like that. But there might be a situation where if you're just never getting the results, you might go and use ChatGPT and say, how do I say this? Or you have another product that you could use that might give you some additional information. But we're hoping that
you guys have been doing it a little bit longer. So I thought maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there's another place to go. And I just thought I would ask.
Ours is super simple because of all the complexity on the back end. But every once in a while, some of that malfunctions too. So if you're like, hey, this page never gives me good results, please let us know, because sometimes something gets disconnected or goes wonky on the back end too.
Thank you. All right. Sorry about that.
All right, Ange, what do you got going?
The long and short of it is I need to move email service providers.
Yes.
And my list I have chopped. It's tiny. So ConvertKit's like, I'm not moving your templates for you.
Okay.
Also, I just
How many templates do you have?
too many. Because I've got one for Earth Day and I've got one for Hamburger Day and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So there's probably 50
Okay.
at least.
And so were those auto going out, or were those just how
No,
were
I was copying them and scheduling them.
Okay. So basically let's see. How would you do this? Can you search in ConvertKit by title? Because I almost would, at this point, I would simplify this, Ange. There's no reason to have that complication of things. In fact, you might even want to just copy and paste those into a Google doc.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, so maybe make a folder of, seasonal emails.
Yep.
And then copy and paste them into Google so that when whatever tool you're using, you'll just send it out as a broadcast.
Yeah, that's
which is going to be easier for you in the
Yeah.
long run. So that way you're then not stuck in ConvertKit either, which
Right.
is a nice freedom for you to
Right.
be able to do that. So that's probably what I do, just to keep it simple. And
Okay.
then the cool thing is if you have it in a Google Doc and then you make, let's say you add 3 more Easter blog posts to your blog, you could just have a system where you're adding those into your Google Doc and not deal, because the
Messing
problem with
yeah.
the email stuff is it's so unwieldy.
Right.
It's hard to find things. It's hard
Yeah.
to edit it. It's
tedious
hard.
as all get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you had it in one place, it might be easier for you to just copy
Okay.
and paste it into
I
just
love that. Awesome.
All
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Is ConvertKit kind of the way to go?
ConvertKit is a good one. It's an expensive one.
Okay.
If you have a pretty active list and it's not over, I would say 10,000, if it's below 10,000 and it's pretty active, I don't know that it matters where you are, if I just say that
Okay.
out loud. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
Well,
once you get
easier.
into the bigger list, sometimes you run into deliverability issues, and ConvertKit's really good at that. But if you have a really interactive list, you're going to overcome a lot of things in the email algorithm.
So was Ange moving from someone else to ConvertKit?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm in ConvertKit. So what you're saying is I could take some Ange, what you're saying is I could take some of my stuff and put it in Google Docs too, because I have I have over 50. I mean, I have tons.
So make it useful, put it in a place that you can find it and edit it. And
Just in case something happened in ConvertKit.
Yeah, some of these things, it's really hard because I send out an email a day, and just to schedule a month's worth of emails, it's 4 pages in ConvertKit. Whereas if I was just copying and pasting it from somewhere else, it's going to be easier for me. So it's just a way to just make it easy on yourself so that you can reuse these things later.
Okay, so you use a Google Doc to set up all your emails that you schedule in ConvertKit.
Well, I don't if I had let's say I want to say every year I want to send out this Christmas post, this Christmas email. Well, it's going to be easier for me to have that information in a place like a Google Drive than trying to find last Christmas's email that I sent out to my list. Does that make sense?
Yes, because I got tons in ConvertKit that it's I want to go back. I want to go back to an email that I sent, and I just have to keep scrolling, and it's
no, I send out 400 emails a year, and I've been on ConvertKit for 6 years, so you can imagine how many pages that is. It's
right. I've been on there for about 6 years too, and it's I mean, it's
all right. I gotta go. I have actually a hard out meeting, so goodbye.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thanks, Holly.
Bye.